Hey guys, I just wanted to do a tip Tuesday here. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more like a consultant training, but definitely you can use this in your everyday life, or if you do other direct sales, this would definitely apply to you as well. So I'm going to talk about decorating. Obviously, we go through different seasons, different holidays, things like that, and I love to keep my filming space, which is also my office, up with the seasons and different holidays and things like that. I just love the way that it makes me feel. So I do really like to do that. But that does mean I'm getting added costs into my, my business expenses. So I definitely want to keep that as low cost as possible. So I want to go ahead and share some of the tips and tricks that I use to go ahead and keep it so that it's still fun and it's not overwhelming. This is not my normal setup, obviously. I've brought out some pieces I've used in the past and some things I'm going to be using in the future. So we're just going to run through some things real quick here. I'm going to tell you where I got them, some tips or tricks that I use to get them at a lower cost, some things I've even made myself. So in my lap, I've got a cake stand. So I'm going to talk about this first, so I can go ahead and set it off to the side. But I love using cake stands for adding dimension and height. And this one is part of my current setup. I have it up here with all of my winter products. And I just love it. It's white, it's simple, it's still like cute because it has this nice detail to it. I actually got this at Target. It's from the dollar spot. There's still like part of a sticker there. And I think it was normally $5, but if you wait after the holidays, Target will take a lot of their stuff from the dollar spot and put it 90% off. So I got this for 50 cents. Now, like that, yes. So this was it was a Valentine's Day cake stand, and I got it for 50 cents. And I actually, before I started filming in here, I was using it in the bathroom, and I switched it out. I have a different thing in there now. And I had like little jars of like Q-tips, cotton balls, things like that, just to get it up off the counter and add a little bit of, pizzazz to my countertop. But it works perfectly in here. I just set it on here, or I can use it down here, wherever, and it adds a little bit of a contrast because a lot of my like furniture in here is dark. And then it also gives you some dimension to kind of add a different feel. So also great for adding space because I can put some shorter stuff down here or whatever. So definitely cake stands are huge for adding a little bit of height and storage space. So there's that guy. And then I'll just run through some of this stuff real quick. So I got this pumpkin here at a store called At Home. We just recently got one where I live. I hadn't been in there, and I personally feel the prices are hit or miss. They're either cheap or it's expensive. This guy I think was like $3. So that I was, totally fine just paying the $3 for it. I think it is so cute. And you can use it for so much more than just Halloween. Like it's almost rose gold. You can't really tell in the camera, but I love this. So I feel like I can definitely use it from like the end of September up through the end of November. So I'm getting more use out of this than just Halloween because it's not a Halloween piece, if that makes sense. Also versatility, so something like that. Like if I had gotten one that was like black and orange, it would be kind of weird to me, all these things are personal, to continue using it after Halloween. So I do like pieces that are more versatile that I can mix in and use other things with them. So then I've got these little succulents. I have these everywhere. Oh, there's not another one there. There's some over here. There's a little cactus. I've got this guy. These actually came from the Target dollar spot, and I was so excited to find them. I just paid the dollar. And I've used them so much. I've been using them all year, I feel like, since I bought them. Sometimes it'll tell you the season that they came out on there, but I know I've been using these almost all year, and I love how tiny they are, but they make a statement. Like you can just add one anywhere, and it helps, just add a little something extra. So I really love them. They had several different things, and so these are super, super versatile. And you can decorate the terracotta pot. You could wrap a ribbon around it to change it with the seasons. Like there's so much that you can do with just a basic piece like this, especially plants. Like they're so versatile. So those are those guys. Down here I've got a couple leaves, and I've also got them here. I got these at the dollar store. It was a whole bag of a ton of them. I really liked this one because it had like the gold in it. And then these are different textures as well. You can't tell that on the camera, but you can in real life. And I actually use them also in one of the boxes I sent out through my subscription service, which you can find on my Facebook page. I'll link it below. And so these are like a box filler, and then I still use them as well. And so then I obviously use them on here, which I love my pins, and so I display them proudly. This is just a framed canvas that I got online somewhere. It was pretty cheap. And I've done the outside in a washi tape for like a Halloween type look. It's supposed to be spiderwebs. And I can peel that off and just put different tape on it. Like, it's a super easy transition season to season. And then I just can pull these off and we're good to go for the next season. I could even do snowflakes maybe for the winter. So I just love how versatile, right? I keep throwing that word out there. I feel like I'm overusing it, but definitely get pieces that you can transition from season to season. That's going to help keep your costs down so much. I'm going to set this down here instead of trying to put it back up there behind me. But so the little leaves, like they're such a tiny like investment. It was $1. I think I got like 50 or 100 or something like that. And even just throwing a couple down there, not necessarily there, but when they were up here, it helps break up the space. You can put products on them to like highlight them, different things like that. So then I've got these little pumpkins down here. I am madly in love with these. They're little pom-pom pumpkins. And I actually made these myself. So they have a really curly texture, so they're extra fluffy. And I just used yarn and a pipe cleaner. And it's the same yarn that I used for this, same pipe cleaner even. So I just got a thing of yarn, a thing of green pipe cleaners, and I had some twine. So I made the banner, and then I used a little bit to do these guys. And so to get this look where it's like fluffed like this instead of just the string, so you wrap the string like you would make a pom-pom, you cut it so it puffs out, and then to get this more uniform look instead of like, if you've made pom-poms, you know what I'm talking about. You can still see the individual strands of yarn. Take a pet brush, it's a slicker brush. They have little metal pins on them that you like use to pull the hair out of your pet. And you just like fluff up the edges and it pulls those fibers apart to give it that really dense look. And I feel like they just look so cute. And so I rotate my seasons a little bit with my products. I keep the current stuff on top and then I move whatever's left from the last launch down to this bottom shelf. So these were like, very cute and like you could show them off up top. Down here I lose a little bit of lighting. I need to work on that, but I'm going to have to find a way to do it low cost. So still working on that, but they're so cute. I love them so much. And I definitely when I'm done with stuff, I keep it. I have a whole little corner in the closet of my office where I keep my props and things like that so that I'm not incurring costs every year for every holiday. So definitely find stuff that you can continue to use. I wouldn't buy anything that's dated, things like that. I mean, you can, that's totally up to you. I just wouldn't do it. So some other things I've got here. This was from the first time that I actually did like an office makeover. If you go on my Facebook page and look at like some of my old live videos, there was like nothing here. It's kind of hilarious. I had like a Rubbermaid bin with a piece of fleece thrown over it because I was like my first days doing it, and it's so funny to go back and watch those. So the first time I went through and like redid my office, I went and got a bunch of stuff that was mermaid themed because that was the launch that we were working on. And so this is I got both things at the dollar store actually. The jar came with the twine wrapped around it, and I felt like that was very nautical. And then I just bought a thing of shells and just gently gently dropped them in there. So I really love this. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to reuse this, but definitely in the summer. Even if it's not like a mermaid theme, you can definitely use this for like a beachy feel, things like that. I have a ton of items left over from when I did this. I'm going to run through those a little bit later on, but I went overboard with that one. So I'm learning as I'm going along, and I feel like that's so easy to do, is to go overboard because you're like, oh my gosh, I love this and that and that. And I wasn't looking for pieces that were nearly as versatile, and I think that kind of bit me in the butt on that. So I've got this guy here. So this has actually been through, I believe the vase has been through every like office transition with me. So on the other side here, it says grown with love, and I've used just a piece of tape to hold the yarn on. And this is the same yarn that's in the pumpkins. So I'm using, use what you've got, definitely. And it says grown with love, and I had succulents in here, fake ones, which is ironic because they're grown with love. But I pulled those out. I've got them in a box ready to go back in when it's time. And I found these red flowers, I believe at the Dollar Tree. And then I don't even know what you call that, like the flare in there, came from At Home. And it wasn't very much either, and it was like a big branch of it. I feel like it was maybe $3 for all of this part. I think it's 2 bouquets of flowers from the dollar store, maybe 3 because I've got it pretty jam-packed. And then like $3 for this guy. And then I just have a pair of wire cutters, and I just cut them down how I wanted them, and put them in here. So I just used a piece of floral foam in there, and I'll take that out and replace that as well. You can even find that at the Dollar Tree. I cut it in half and then just like wedge it in there, throw it away when you're done. It's such a mess to try to save it. But yeah, so super simple, super easy. And I added the orange for a little bit of a pop of color, and then to go ahead and help it transition to fall. I had it without that, and I didn't feel like it meshed as well with the colors because it was really bright teal and then the red flowers. So I just wanted to transition it over, and it normally sits up here where it has a little bit less light, excuse me, so that you can see the color of the flowers, whereas right in front of the window it's washed out. So I need to work on that as well. I'm still, learning, but we'll move on. So over on this side, I've got these super cute sweater pumpkins, and I actually just bought these at Target right after Halloween. It was just a couple days after. So this is part of their fall decor line, and it went 90% off. So like this guy's normally $6, and I paid 60 cents. This one I paid 90 cents. This guy 30 cents. And this is perfect. It says give thanks. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. So this is going to be like an instrumental piece for me in transitioning from like Halloween fall to Thanksgiving fall. So I can still leave up all my pumpkin decorations and everything else because now this ties it in to November. Super easy. Like just one little transitional piece can do that for you. You can reorganize the same pieces and have a totally different look. Like I'm super pumped. So again, check those clearance spots. I wasn't even shopping for office decor necessarily that day, and I went through, I saw that they had all the costumes marked way down, and I thought it would be fun to go and look and see if I could find some props for like filming or doing photos or whatever. And they had a whole, like, just rows and rows of different types of pumpkins on sale. So they had some with letters. I tried to find some that spelled posh. I couldn't find them all, and then I saw these guys tucked away, and I was like, those are perfect. I'm going to grab those. And then also, since these are white, I feel like I can transition them even into the first week or 2 of December because you can put these next to different things, and it'll really kind of just pull you that way. So I'm really excited about that. Super pumped to have these, and I will 100% be using them every year. So even, if not in the office, around the house. So definitely check out those clearance spots. You'll never know what you're going to find there. So this guy I just think is really funny, and I love having it in posts where I'm talking about my goals and things like that. I do find that helps kind of boost business a little bit. So every time I'm like, ooh, I've got a new goal, or, making goals for my VIP group, I love to have this as a photo prop or whatever. I got this at, I believe, Home Goods, and I think it was like $4 or $5. It wasn't on like clearance or anything, but I just loved it so much. And I've been really into rose gold this year, so having this just add that little extra pop, I thought that was so good. I skipped these guys. So these are from Michaels. So these were part of their summer line. So as soon as like the end of summer hit, it was all on clearance. And these were marked down drastically. So this was normally 15 and this was normally 17. I never take my stickers off stuff. I'm sorry, guys. And I think I got them for like $2 and $3. And I just love the look of like succulents and cactuses in terracotta. So why not? And I can use these, you know, in spring, in summer, even the first part of fall, or you can even decorate it up and you can use it year round. And I love the terracotta because it's so versatile. It's like a blank canvas. Throw a big puffy ribbon on there, stick a snowflake sticker on it, whatever, and you can help roll that into any season that you want to. All right, so I'm gonna tuck this back here. So I've got a couple things here and then one or two things like off camera. So this guy, I got this, I believe at Target in the dollar spot 3 or 4 years ago. So I think I paid maybe $5 for it. It's got a really nice weighted base, so it's not tipping or leaning, which I really like. Some of the cheaper ones don't quite have that, and over time they start to lean. Our bathroom is actually like woodland forest creatures and things like that. So I bought them on at Christmas to put into our bathroom. So they actually have two. There's one on each side of the sink. And so that's another tip I have for you. Use other things you have in your house. My bathroom is not missing this tree today, and it's not going to be missing this tree when I throw it into here for the winter and Christmas season. So it's small enough that it'll still make a statement without be overwhelming, and it'll still bring that feel into my filming space. So I super love it. I've even gotten little teeny like Christmas ornaments and stuff to hang on here that we just keep in our boxes, and that normally they get decorated in the bathroom, which is a little extra, I know, but I love it. I just love changing spaces with the seasons. So yeah, use stuff you've got around the house. I obviously didn't buy this with the thought that, oh, in a couple of years I'll be filming YouTube videos. I just had it on hand. So check around your house and use things that you already have. Also, like, you'll start to look at things in a different mindset when you're constantly changing the look of a space. So this was a lid on a canister of something. I don't even remember. It just fit right into the top of the container. But the container had a big ugly label on it, whatever. But when I pulled this off, I was like, this is the cutest little tray. So I've used it for succulents. I've used it for stones. You can set products in it. I really like that it adds a definition. So instead of just setting these on the wood, you set them on something like this, and you have a little bit of definition, which just adds a little something extra. And that, I mean, that was free, right? Normally you'd throw something like that away because you pull it out of the container, use whatever's in the container, and then you toss it in the trash or recycling. But I figured this was so substantial, like it was going to hold up, and I love having it. I've used it tons of different setups in here. And I haven't used it around the house, but I probably would. Set a candle on it or something like that. So this guy, I believe, yes, this was from Target. I did not buy this for my filming space. Again, I bought this for my house. Target had a huge collection of really big fake potted plants a couple years ago, and I was in love with them, but they were like $70 and $80. And there was no way I was spending that. Like, not that they're not worth it necessarily, but I knew if I waited it out, they'd go on sale eventually. And I got in luck. They had them set out for like 80% off. And I think I paid like $9 and $10 for some huge potted plants. And this guy was in there as well. And so I think I paid maybe $2 for this. It would have been more, but it's really, really scuffed up on this side. You guys can't even see it very well, but it's bad. Because this is like a really matte ceramic. So it picks up transfer stuff very easily. But I can wrap a ribbon around it. I could decorate it. I could paint it. Like, this would definitely is a surface that would hold paint. And so I really like this. I haven't used it yet, but come spring, this is definitely going to be making appearances. All right, and then last thing that I've got sitting out here is this bowl. I got this at home. I got this at home, sorry. And I paid full price for this one. It was $6.99. I just love it. It's like a really sturdy stoneware. And I've used this to display like bath bombs and things like that. I even took this to a vendor event and had it sitting out, and I sold the bath bombs that were in it. It's such a cute piece, and I love the color. It's got like a rose gold fleck and some teal and things like that. And so I really also like to try to incorporate colors kind of across the board. So like I've got teal, I've got rose gold. This I can use You know, I can use it in the spring, I can use it in the winter. I use it a little bit in the fall, but I wasn't super in love with the way that it looked. But I can use this so much. It's going to be so versatile. And it's such a good shape. It's really big and round. It's not terribly deep, so you can still set stuff in here and people can see it. You can probably even elevate the back just a smidge and lay stuff in here. I'm super excited for all of the fun possibilities with this one. All right, so then just a couple things that I have sitting here. Again, use things you've got around the house. So this was our flour canister, and when we ran out of flour, we didn't buy a big thing of it again, so I just used it for my bath bombs. And I also, they smell so good that having this open, my whole office smells phenomenal. I do have the lid, and I normally put the lids on them, but I'm enjoying this right now. Another thing is you can check, I got this at Walmart for 97 cents. And how cute is this? So you can use these. I've got this one. It's a gift set, but you can totally use these as like decor pieces. You can even turn this like sideways. You can use it to elevate a couple products. Use the lid as like something in the background. So definitely keep an eye out for things like that. And look in the holiday spots. A lot of times things there are marked up or even overpriced, but you're always going to find a couple really good deals. So that's where that one came from. And then, like I said, I went overboard with the mermaid one. So I've got all of these very specific things. And so I would definitely warn against that. It was really fun in the moment, but like the chances of me using those things again are slim to none. And I've got some giant shells that I picked up at the dollar store for that. All of these little wood cutouts that came from Michael's. I've even got a candle from the Dollar Tree. I've got a lei from the Dollar Tree. I have this giant net that hung all the way down behind me. And then this I actually bought for myself as an Easter basket. That's what it is. I'm not 100% sure where I got this. It might have been Target, but I feel like it wasn't. So I'm not totally sure. This, like, I love this. I'll keep using this. That's not like a big deal. I'd already bought it for other things. And then I could potentially use some of these wood cutouts for just like summer. I had them up in the net, if you guys saw any of those. And like the net I can use in the summer for like a beachy feel, without necessarily having to be mermaid, especially with like a piece like this. But some of these other things I'm just not going to use again. And so, I mean, my options at that point, I can sell them. I can try to repurpose them. Like I could reuse the frame from the Let's Be Mermaids picture. Sorry. I could reuse the frame. I could repaint the other plaque, but like that's a lot of effort. I still might do it just to get the most out of those pieces, but I'm not sure what I'm doing with them yet. I'm considering selling it as a lot to somebody else who loves mermaids. Haven't gotten that far yet, but it's probably the direction I'll end up going with it. I also just noticed I forgot this little guy. So this one says good vibes only. I got this at Michael's. I think it was $1.50, maybe $1.99. And I've actually found several different things just about this size that hang while I've been shopping for different decor things. So I want to get a clear hook to go here instead of this giant white one, but I love just adding a little something there. So even if it's not necessarily for the video, if it's just for me, I like having something there. Yeah. So my last tip would just be use your products. Sorry. Use your products. I, obviously have them displayed up here, things like that. And I'm revealing a lot of secrets in this video, but so like I've got bins behind here that I have paperwork and stuff like that in. So that just sitting up there alone, it's not terrible because it is a very decorative basket. But you guys like don't even know that that's there because I've got all these hand creams in front of it. And I would rather showcase my hand creams than my paperwork basket. So definitely like use what you've got. That pig up there, I need to find him like a new home or something. He's a piggy bank, super cute. But you can't even like enjoy him up there. So thank you so much for watching. I know this video was horrifically long and my phone alarm went off, which I'm terribly, terribly sorry about. I thought I had way more time before that was going to happen. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, you know, my little flow ups here and there didn't deter you too much. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can get a video next time or get a I need to be done. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for stopping by.